Kurt Roskopf and Emily Gollmer, and we are here to have a little chat session here about some of the things that have been happening recently that we're excited to share. But before I get going with that, Kurt, do you want to come on in and give a big hello shout out?
Hello, Milwaukee area, everybody in the River West neighborhood, and we are excited to be here with River West Radio, riverwestradio.com, 6 years in the making here with Ability MKE Now. And when Sue talks about possibilities, it's all about opportunity and access. And you know what Milwaukeeans with disabilities are able to do, no matter where we're talking and no matter what we're talking about, but we were talking about our beautiful faith spaces or where we get educated or where we serve as volunteers, doing our civic activities with the city of Milwaukee or Milwaukee County or the state of Wisconsin, as done around southeastern Wisconsin, and so on and so forth. The fun things around here, you know, getting out on Lake Michigan, or whether it's being in our parks. Damian Bookman doing a nice job being a resource for Milwaukee parks and really making a splash nationally. And, you know, so just think about what you enjoy and then ask yourself and those you enjoy it with, how are we doing involving Milwaukeeans with disabilities in what we're doing right now? And when you look on your calendar, ask yourself, hey, how are we doing for that activity? We got time. Can we do something to get a Milwaukeean with a disability involved? If people with disabilities are involved, what can we do to get more Milwaukeeans with disabilities involved? I propose, Milwaukee, that we can be doing this type of thing 33 times more than we presently are as of 2022. So the advocates say we've gone a long ways, but we have so far to go. Let's do it. That's why we're here, to take it back soon.
Awesome. I agree completely. Those that have taken that dive into the concept and really, once you have that planted in your mind of what to pay attention to, what to notice, then you start to see things. Kind of like when you are looking for a different car. If somebody mentions a specific car, all of a sudden you see it everywhere, right? So same type of thing. If you start thinking about accessibility to buildings, about transportation, about whatever the aspect is, once it's something you start paying attention to, you start to notice what's out there, what's available and what's not. So I'm hoping with what we can spark along the way here that more people start noticing these things and paying attention to the possibilities and helping to create more possibilities. So with today, I want to actually take a moment to do a little recap. There was a lot of activities in the Milwaukee area in the last handful of days that are incredibly relevant, and I thought we need to let people know what all has happened. So I'm going to start with one of my favorite things. You know what? That I personally have a great attachment to ACAP, Adaptive Community Approach Program, which is a day program for adults in Waukesha. So they celebrated their 40th anniversary. They have been around adults in Waukesha County for 40 years and have done an absolutely phenomenal job with what they all offer, with the diverse programming that they have, activities, indoors, outdoors, you name it. They are spectacular. And my personal attachment goes obviously with our water skiing background. We always get the pleasure of doing an adaptive water skiing event each summer with the ACAP folks as well. So with this 40th anniversary, Kurt was at their big celebration event that took place this past Sunday. So I want to just bring Kurt in and ask him what all happened at the event. Tell us about the attendance. Tell us what you experienced. I just want to throw this to you to give a splash of color to what you all saw and the excitement that was taking place there and the celebrations and so forth. So Kurt, you can come on in and share with us.
All right, so I just want to reference really quick here that ACAP Inc. has a YouTube channel. And so basically on YouTube with the search term ACAP Inc., there's that to find, what's being posted. And there was a posting in regards to this 40th anniversary celebration. There's a video that was shared at the banquet and the gala celebration, and it's titled ACAP's 40th Anniversary 2022, which basically is a little over 10 minutes of a video that was just fantastically put together. The 200 people that saw it up on the screen over there at Ingleside Hotel in Milwaukee, right north I-94. 200 people there in that banquet hall with the two screens, the dual screens up there in front of that conference area, either side of the stage. And, it was at points where you could hear a pin drop as it was transitioning from scene to scene. And so basically the staff and the members and other stakeholders, past volunteers, past president of the ACAP board all spoke and just really captured a nice synopsis of, why we're there and, really new insights. I've been involved with ACAP for the 36 years that we've been working with them on adaptive water skiing. And so I feel I know as much as most all people, with ACAP. And that video in 10 minutes, I learned a little something, and it was just interesting to hear as people spoke from their heart, what they ended up saying. And then later on in the program, towards the final segment of it all, the founder, Carol Ann Kay, got up in front of the 200 of us, and there too, she took her time. She told the story of Patrick, member at ACAP, and it was really insightful. And she spoke very clearly and intensively, with intention. And she wanted it to really clarify how stories need to be told, because she's hinting to us that we're losing the grip that we used to have, or that we kind of have now. So that there's basically a little bit of an undoing of successes of the past because of people around us are not as aware as predecessors, and maybe are coming forward not being as much those that have been connected into these advocacy type experiences. And so it's just really calling up everybody to say, let's tell these stories and let's help people who are in authority, who are with the capacity and resources, maybe the privilege to do something to yet again attend to this gap between people with disabilities and those that don't have a disability, and to just plain do the right thing and to really reach to the disability community for the help, because that's how it worked for Sue. We didn't come up to say, the Roskopfs have a plan and we got it all figured out. No, when we got with people with disabilities, they taught us the secret sauce. When we got in their kitchen, they're the cook. We didn't come in as the cooks saying too many cooks in the kitchen. And that's something we learned with Adaptive Adventures with the rock climbing program through, and blanking on the name of it in Milwaukee, the rock climbing
Adventure
place.
Rock?
Adventure.
Yeah.
There we go. Shout out to Adventure Rock. And working with Adaptive Adventures in a volunteer program with some of the participants, some of the athletes that do the rock climbing. And one of the athletes said, the program and the volunteers are great, but he gave a little hint that once in a while we get a little overzealous with our training, and how we feel empowered, because now we kind of get it. We have an aha moment. We just want to go and apply it, and we get ahead of the athlete. And then he kind of says, that puts me as an athlete in a place of, what's going on here? I think I got this figured out pretty good too, because I live with my disability every day. Kind of like, hey, don't you think I'm a resource over here to kind of help us get through this together? And, so yeah, there's all that kind of stuff. So ACAP did a good job of bringing that forward to say there's no way to mistake the importance of the mission, which has a slogan of leaving our imprint on the community. So that's what it's all about, is that people with disabilities adults with disabilities can come to ACAP, be a part of the programming, and during the hours of programming, it's designed to have them do things that people around Waukesha County, elsewhere on the Milwaukee County side, and southeastern Wisconsin, what other people are doing. They designed some programming so that people with disabilities who otherwise don't have as much opportunity or disproportionately less opportunity to do some things, whether it's in the art side, or theater side, or sports side, that there's a little bit of opportunity, through the auspices of ACAP, and that's what was all celebrated quite nicely, with also a way to financially support through a silent auction and so on and so forth. So, Sue, back to you. Did you want anything more, or does that do it?
Well, that's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that that was as big as it was. And I know you mentioned that video. I need to make sure I get a chance to see that. That's going to be a spectacular, like you said, recap of all these different things and how ACAP has made a difference in the lives of so many people. So I'm excited to see what the future holds for this group, because they're 40 years in. They still have a long ways to go, and I can only imagine what kind of fun and amazing things that they will be coming up with as they continue here. So thank you so much, Kurt, for that recap. That's some of the pieces that I needed to hear. Can you perhaps give another bit of insight for us? With Ability MKE Now, I know something that we all could use more of in a way is time. Time is a huge thing that none of us ever have enough. I mean, somebody had asked the question recently, if you had another hour if you actually had 25 hours in your day, what would you do with that extra hour? Well, the whole concept of time, there is a concept called time banking. So this is, instead of exchanging dollars for services or things, you exchange time for what's happening. So if one person can give an hour of a piano lesson to somebody, they can bank an hour that they gave. And then somebody else needs a plumber, they can, if you happen to be a plumber, you can use that hour that you gave. You'd be able to get that hour back basically by somebody else volunteering their talents in a time exchange manner. So, Kurt, I know you have quite a bit of background again in this whole concept of time banking, and also with Mutual Aid Network. There is a great organization based out of Madison that has trickled into it actually goes worldwide, but there are definitely pockets around the world that are very very devoted to the concept and make such good use of basically this different currency. I'm wondering if you can share a little more insight to what that is. And then there also was a great event this weekend that was a summit that took place. And I wonder if you could just share a little background of what this is all about and what the weekend all held for those that were able to gather.
All right, Milwaukee, we're going to take a snapshot of Milwaukee 2014. Independence First headed up planning for the 25th anniversary of our Americans with Disabilities Act 88 celebration, and got with all of our wonderful disability service organizations right here local. I think Milwaukee can be proud of who is all here serving people with disabilities. And as you can imagine, with any service, there's always advocacy and this constant evolution of serving every Milwaukeean with a disability to the terms of themselves. So I don't want to overshadow any asks or any insistence that Milwaukeeans might have here. But there definitely is a celebratory side that came to the ADA celebrations at that time. And so what happened is these organizations were forming a few celebration aspects on different dates and times, but I wasn't seeing it on the actual anniversary day, which was Sunday, July 26, 2015. So I made a point about it. And as you could imagine, in the volunteer scope, it became that they offered me to head it up, which I was honored and privileged, to be able to do so. So with my flair and zest for zeal, I'm like, I need something that's random. So Milwaukee taught me that, well, and through one of our friends here at AbilityMKE Now, Chad taught us, hey, please look at my ability and not so much my discipline. So that's what I thought ADA celebration is about, celebrating people's abilities, and building from them, from people's abilities. And in Milwaukee, everybody here, we've had Panther Fest and German Fest and Polish Fest, so I'm like, hey, if we're going to do a decent celebration in Milwaukee, it has to be a fest. So then I put it together, Ability Fest. And so what happens is Dr. Barbara Lee, who is founder, executive director emeritus, and founder of Milwaukee Public Theater, she has had quite a long time connection to the folks who got the Milwaukee Area Time Exchange going. So that's what evolved through friendship. Is at Ability Fest, the Milwaukee Area Time Exchange had a booth, and who is there but right here at River West Radio with youth rising up. Marty Hagedorn was there at Ability Fest, and oh my goodness gracious, I had no idea how much Ability Fest and Milwaukee Area Time Exchange and Marty Hagedorn was going to change my life. And then we had our friend Jilly Jow. That's our nickname for her. She's a friend, so taught me a lot and participated in some of this disability advocacy with us. And she was very gracious to, and very offering of her time, making an offer in time, and making a time exchange to join at some of these things we were doing for the ACE celebrations. And so what she did is she took this hint about the Milwaukee Area Time Exchange and everything with Marty Hagedorn. You know what she did? She called me up one day and said, Kurt, you got to talk to Marty. And I'm like, okay, because she's kind of like, hey, you're trying to do all this stuff around Milwaukee, and Marty's going to help you do it better, basically, is what it amounted to. So true, so true. So getting involved with Marty and Marty understanding, as you're all coming to understand through the show, Marty thought, I'm living things at a little bit more extensive of a level and process than maybe around. So he's like, how can we turn this up a notch? Well, he knows about Stephanie Rearick out of Madison. And I learned about her with founding the Dane County Time Bank out there. And then what Sue is describing here with the Mutual Aid Network. And really right on target, because with what I learned about the work that the group is doing with the with Mutual Aid Network, there too, 8 different formats. One of the 8 being time banking to really orchestrate for people an economic approach on how to do what we want to do in our community and bring it forward. So this all at about the time of starting the radio show here, and I'm seeing this in Madison, And so I've been for 6 years in Milwaukee, waiting for this to be an establishment here in Milwaukee. And so what we have is finally, after a few years of invested time, it's all percolating. Now is the time, and we are the ones. And so we have the Build Center has been a gracious host of activities with our summit, and we're going to be going back there for our spring summit, Solidarity Summit with the Mutual Aid Network, and we got Milwaukeeans starting to be interested, plugging in, and so I'm very optimistic that we're going to have a very nice Milwaukee-style Brew City approach to mutual aid and everything that Marty has pointed me to, and so Marty himself is still interested. So neat things are going to come. So at the summit, we were talking about all this. We had about 10 of us there, and so and maybe there was more with some visitors. There were some people who came and went. And then we had some people online, so it was a hybrid event. We had the Zoom going and had some guests from other places away from Milwaukee, far and away. So it's just a really dynamic where we're organizing resources in this way and really mapping what it is, mapping of resources in the area and saying what's available, and then having a system where we can invite people to come in and provide their requests, and then do it as like a map that when there's resources available for the taking and somebody wants to request that, and it's mutually beneficial, mutual aid, and all in a reciprocal format. We call it interdependence. So with that, that's pretty much a flavor of it. That's what we're discussing. We all did it in a couple hours. There was cookout and food fair, potluck. Potluck is the culture. We're always doing potluck because it's an economic solution. So it keeps going from there. It's back to you, Sue.
Thanks so much for that, for the recap on that, because that is a really exciting thing that is at our fingertips. So Milwaukee is ripe for grabbing a hold of the concept of the time banking, the mutual aid network, and the ways that people can help each other out. It's a way, like Kurt said, to be able to do a matchmaking of talents. So there's so much more that can be talked about and learned about this. So I'm sure we'll be revisiting this sometime in the near future to discuss this even further, because it's too good not to. And I know here with our few minutes that we have left, here with our Ability MKE Now crew, I want to put a little piece in our minds here where we often are talking about happiness, and there is another event coming up that we are definitely looking forward to. Global Happiness Summit. So I'm trying to think of how I can word that to be a tease, but you know what? It's too good to just not get there. Global Happiness Summit. So there is a 6-hour stretch of time on Friday, October 7th, 2022, where there will be, oh gosh, last I heard, there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 people that are already registered for this event, and they are looking at, between now and when that happens, to actually double that number. Last year, there were over 700 people in attendance for the event. I was able to take part in a good chunk of it and absolutely loved it. It is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be educational. It's going to be interactive. It's going to be something that I'm going to be hanging on to for ongoing here, and it definitely will be memorable. I know that was one of my first introductions to the ambassador of joy, very sure. So that was a great piece
joy
that I took away. Yeah, exactly. Emily, what do you remember from him? Tell us a little bit about ambassador of joy.
Oh, before that, for everybody who's wondering, the Global Happiness Summit is going to be on Hopin, the platform Hopin.
which is a website that's going to be super. It is very user friendly, and yeah, Hopin, HOPIN, hopin.com.
But yeah, Barry, I don't know if there are any words to explain. But so he has all about joy, and has acronyms for the basic words like smile. And it's all sort of come about due to what do you call it, overnight getting like a disability. And I don't know what else to say about him in there, but yeah, his personality is very infectious.
It's a great word. Truly, he is. He's inspiring. He is a unique individual that you will not forget anytime soon.
Yeah, he sings some of his words when he talks, and it's really cool.
He personally has some incredible struggles physically and in turn mentally with all the things that have happened to him. How we were talking about everybody has a story. His is one that would be worth checking out when you have if you ever want to know what joy truly encompasses, this man encompasses joy. He's amazing and inspiring and all those things, and just straight up fun. So I know I've never had an interaction where with him where I haven't walked away feeling better than when I first came in touch. So so he's going to be part of the Global Happiness Summit for obvious reasons. And I know there'll be other entertainment, there will be networking, you'll get to talk and meet with other like-minded folks, and it truly, it's going to be great. So, Kurt, do you have a last 20-second thought to share with everybody before we close for the night here?
Just want to add, he's the ambassador of joy. And so just real quick, we're going to do some community bonding, River West Radio. Everybody reach out your arms. We're going to do a Milwaukee hug. Come on. There we go. Back to you, Sue.
Did you feel that? Awesome. Well, we are looking forward to so much. We are keep perspective by looking back at things that have happened. Here at Ability MKE Now, we will continue to bring everyone together. For all, thank you.
Recording stopped.
All right, very nice.
So, Kurt, did you like my description of Barry?
Yeah, you really should put River West Radio in the waiting room.
I did.
No, it said recording stopped, and then I put River West Radio in the waiting room.
I did too, so it must have been the same time you were doing it.
Yeah, but the timing I'm pointing out is we got to put River West Radio in the waiting room before the recording is stopped.
Oh,
because
okay.
the audible of the recording is stopped. We're putting him in the waiting room to avoid sound from our show spilling over into the next show.
Oh, okay. I can remember that for moving forward then.
Yeah. See, your inclination is always to disagree with Kurt Roskopf. Sue learned after 30 years. There's no need to disagree with Kurt Roskopf.
I figured it out, and I've only known you for like 2 years, Kurt.
All right. I'll count on your commitment. She puts her head down.
Sometimes I just want to whack you upside the head, but yes.
Oh, I'm sure Alana would be here too.
Of course, you'd have to be attacked by a dog then, Don't turn.
Yeah, Miss Minnie. Minnie to the rescue.
So, and I don't know if you saw the note that I typed in there, because I know you had unmuted, so I'm like, I didn't know if you wanted to say something, so I was trying to ask, but I didn't see. I don't. Maybe you didn't see my note.
Oh well, I saw that you put it. I saw you put something in there, but I didn't actually read it. So.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Oh,
Emily,
hello,
this is,
hello, hello. Hold on.